This week I'm completing a massive job that I've been working on for the past few months, and that's mill and move all of this timber that I'll be using in my container house. I'm going to be using it for decking boards, feature pieces, bench tops, floorboards and roof paneling, which equals between $150,000 to $350,000 of savings. I have 8 logs left to mill, and I'm starting with this giant mammoth of a log here. It was never going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it. Of course it's raining. Hey, I'm halfway through this giant log because I chopped him in half. I've got all the slabs here. Let's chew through the other half. These ones are going to be for floorboards and roof panels. Now that I've got that giant log all turned into slabs, I think I deserve a lunch break.
I want you. I want you. Only you. I want you. All the fellas saying it won't work, waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're too perfect, I'm gonna get hurt, but I think they're perfectly wrong. She likes my music and I like her loud. I'm still playing poker Monday nights. Ain't no stressing over where I'm at. She's a once in a lifetime kind of find. All I've ever wanted is the best of both worlds. Living life and having fun and loving you, girl. I wanna have my cake and eat it too. I wanna feel that heat and still stay cool. I wanna live my life too good to be true. What I'm trying to say is, I want you. I want you. Only you. I want you. Keep concessions to the popcorn stand. Ain't giving up the life I've got. I'm still betting big on my own hand. But with you, we're both taking the pause. Is it so much to ask for everything and some more? Making moves and cutting loose.
Now that I've got those 2 giant logs milled, and there is a lot of slabs, more than I was expecting, so I'm quite happy with that because I hadn't cut any for floorboards or roof paneling yet. And I've got probably a couple more to use, so I don't have that many, but I don't think I actually need that many. It just depends how many rooms I want to put it in. So now I'm going to move on to getting my next 3 logs that I'm going to square off to be posts. So I'm going to try get them out of the pile there, and then I'll chop off the ends so that I can get them ready to mill. Good morning, and I'm extremely lucky today. What a gorgeous day it is for me to be milling in the sun. So last night I got all my logs prepared, like all out of the pile and chopped off. It was not easy. Gosh, some of these are so heavy and they do not want to move. But they're out now. I need 4 more squared off posts. And only these 3 are really suitable. Other ones are like a bit too big. But I feel like I'm gonna have to make this one into a squared off post because I need 4 more. And then the other ones, I'm either going to use 1 for beams and 2 for slabs, or 2 for beams and 1 for slabs. It depends how many beams I can get out of one, because I need about 24 meters of beams or maybe more. So I need to make sure I can get as many beams as possible. But then I'd also like a lot of slabs, because I really would like to do like a couple rooms in the house with floorboards, and I really would like to do roof paneling. So that depends on how much slabs that I can get. Now, I need to make sure I don't chitter chatter today because I have a lot to do. Let's start by getting these 4 logs squared off, and then I can move on to the beams and the slabs. That was bloody perfect, but I forgot to put the little side bits up, so it almost rolled off, but it rolled on perfectly, thank goodness. This milling journey has not been easy, so to only have 4 logs left is a fantastic feeling. Even getting blades for this thing has been the biggest challenge. The company that makes the timber mill made the blade an extremely specific size that isn't common, so you have to buy blades through them. But they also never have stock, never have timber mills or blades. So to get this blade, I had to have it custom made for $100 and 2 tanks of juice to get to them. Little bit of an update. I have got 3 posts squared off. My 4th one that I want is actually behind this lot. So there's 2 in the front there and then there's 1 underneath them. And I think that is smaller than this one here. I think that's probably the best one to turn into my last squared off post. Yes, the last one, thank goodness. So that means I should have all the posts I need for the container house, fingers crossed if I've counted correctly. That go basically where the walls are being cut out. So basically where my footings are, where the walls are being cut out. So around my front bifold door, in the middle of the house where it's open, and then also where a wall is getting built for the bedroom and the bathroom, and then also upstairs with my bedroom door. But also I need the post for the patio, which I think I've got now. I think I've got all the posts I need. So that means with this one that I've got here, I'll start with my beams because I need 24 meters. I don't think I'm anywhere close to that, maybe like a third or something, but that was only from 1 or 2 logs. So you do get quite a lot because I'm not using the whole log. So I'm cutting a squared off bit into beams, and they're only really thin beams as well because they're not for the structure at all. The structure is in the steel flat bar, really thick steel flat bar that runs along all the joints of the containers, sides and the roof, but also in the posts as well, and the actual container obviously. So these beams are just for show, just to cover those sections where the flat bar is, where the joints of the container is on the roof. Probably this log and the next log I'll be turning into beams, but if I get enough out of this log, then I'll be turning the next 2 logs into slabs for floorboards and roof paneling, and then my last one will be my last squared off post, and then I will officially be done all of my wood that was cut down. So by the way, if you didn't know as well, I didn't cut this down for this purpose. All these trees had to be cut down due to fire restrictions. So I wouldn't cut down trees for my own benefit because I love trees and I don't want to be cutting them down. So these were just going to sit there, otherwise they were just, not getting used, and it's a waste, and they're really good wood. And so I've been able to get a lot of good wood that will be used within the house out of this. And it's done, finally. After starting off with a little tiny chainsaw mill as well, and then upgrading to this timber mill, which does kind of suck because it is cheap. And so there is quite a few problems, but it is way better than that chainsaw mill, so that's okay. But I'm so excited to be done with this timber because it has been a long, long, long journey. Let's get these beams done. Morning. I was up so late last night to do all that wood and get it all milled, but it's done finally, and it is the greatest feeling in the bloody world to have it finally all completed, because it has been months of trying to get this task done, but the reward is going to be so worth it. And to see all this wood inside the house, knowing that it's not just I bought it, but I actually took it from raw logs and turned it into what I wanted it to be, is just incredible. I cannot wait to see it in the house. But that brings me to the next thing that I want to do. So I can't put it in the house until it's dried. So it needs to dry enough to be able to be used. And I got a moisture meter, which apparently you stick into it and it tells you the moisture percentage. And I need the moisture to be between 12 to 15% for the decking, and then inside I need it to be even less. So I need it to be more between the 5 to 8% range for like inside furniture, that kind of stuff, or the bench tops. This is my little moisture meter, and I need to dig it in to this wood here, which I mean isn't going to be easy in Jarrah. It's really hard wood. She is in there now and we have a reading. Are we ready? Ta-da! 16.1. Not sure why it's beeping, I hope I've done it right, but 16.1. That's very close to the 12 to 15% I need, which means I may be able to actually start preparing all the decking soon, which is very good. But I'm not as confident with these posts because they're obviously a lot thicker. Also, this Jarrah got done a while ago. I started, like I said, the process about 2 months ago. The Jarrah was the first to get done. So let's check out the other pieces. Okay, so this, not as good. That is at 47.9. Oh boy, that is really far off, isn't it, Django? what are the posts going to be at then? Interesting. The posts are saying they're less than the slabs. I wonder if that is because that slab is recently cut and it was wet with everything and it just actually hasn't dried. I was thinking the post would have a higher moisture content than the slabs for sure. But the Jarrah slabs look like they're really close, which is great news for me. I mean, I could start cutting them all up, you know, and preparing them into the decking boards. I'm not exactly sure though if I want to put them on until closer to the end of the build when I know like everything's done on the outside and they're not going to get damaged or anything like that. But the posts are the big ones. The posts are what I'm going to need first. All right, wish me a lot of sun hitting this shed and hopefully some wind and airflow to go with it. I still cannot stop smiling from having all this timber completed. It has been a fantastic week. Huge success, and thank you so much for spending time with me. I will see you next Sunday.